All right, we are live from Red Hook here at the Funktion House. We have the one and only double L double R, Mr. Mell Starr.
You feeling it?
What's up, my man? Welcome to Red Hook. Welcome to Brooklyn. Welcome back to Brooklyn.
Back, I was born in Brooklyn.
We
you
know.
are.
Yeah,
We
a lot of
know.
people don't
We
know
are
that.
super excited to have you on the show tonight.
I appreciate it, man.
So you're born in Brooklyn,
I was born in Brooklyn.
moved around a little bit.
I moved around a lot. My mom lives in Brooklyn,
What part of Brooklyn, though?
Bed-Stuy,
Oh, it's right here.
right down the block.
Your mom's still here?
Nah, she moved down south. I was Lexington between Marcy and Nostrand.
Oh, that's right there.
So that corner building, like right on the corner, that's the building we lived in,
Nice.
right next to the projects.
So then you moved from there. You went to the Bronx for a little bit,
Then
right?
my dad was like, "Yo, come on, let's go." So we went to the Bronx, and
At what age did you go from Brooklyn to the Bronx?
I was young, before teenage, before I was a teenager.
Before music?
Actually, it all turned into one unit at one point, man. Like, yeah, it was pretty intense. My dad was into music. I got a lot of ghost stories, man. Like a lot of ghost stories, man.
Like
Yeah.
what type of ghost stories?
Like my dad was a ghostwriter
Okay.
in the 70s and 80s, and he wrote for a lot of people. That
Really?
I can't even.
Could you give us a
Can't
couple?
even
So,
say
like,
their
big,
name.
reputable people.
all the hot. Yeah, like a lot of the.
Really?
Yeah, a whole lot.
So you got the musical bug from your father?
Yeah, so what I
Wait,
learned.
hold up. You got to tell us at least one person.
All right, my pops passed away like 2 years ago, and I looked at he had like a bunch of contracts. So he basically he
so
gave me
you
all
really
the stuff.
can't
So
speak about
I
it.
saw the contracts, and they were like lifetime.
So
No.
let me ask you a question. Some of the people that he wrote for.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of them. It's a lot.
Do most DJs play any of these
A
songs in
lot.
their rotation?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Really?
Lot.
That's incredible.
A whole lot.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And I knew, but I didn't know, because it was like later in life, I'm like, wait a minute, that wasn't. Oh shit. Oh, okay. And he would just be like, yeah, son, that was them.
Wow.
That was him. That was her. That was, yeah. It's pretty crazy.
So your pops had that skill.
My dad was nice, and he left me a lot of material. So I'm looking for some artists soon. I'm gonna be
So that's how. So
need
that's how.
somebody to sing some records for me right quick. You know,
So
a
you
lot of
must have
content.
started with a crazy record collection.
I inherited my uncle Butch. So Brooklyn and the Bronx had two stories, and that was actually before I got to Harlem. So Brooklyn was basically the setup. My uncle, he was amongst a lot of great guys, and I would call guys like Tony Humphrey Uncle Tony, but didn't know it was Tony Humphrey.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was Charisma. I didn't know it was Frankie Knuckles. Rest in peace. I didn't know these. I didn't know it was them.
So your dad used to roll with these guys?
No, this is my uncle.
Oh,
This
your
is
uncle,
in
your uncle,
Brooklyn.
okay,
So this
okay.
is my mom's side. So
Uncle
from
Butch,
that
you said,
point,
right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
from all of that time, like that's kind of like where I got into just wanting to just play. They call it house, but they was calling it club music back then. So
yeah.
that's why I'm like, where did the house music name term come from? But it was called club music, and I learned that. So all the disco classics and all the beginning of what you call house music now, I have it. So I inherited it, and then, oh man,
So
then
you
I
must
went.
have a serious collection.
Yeah, collection is oh my.
Where do you keep all these records?
In a very safe place. in a very very safe place.
How many records would you say you have?
How many 45s would you say you had?
Wow, that's a lot. So you figure at the time back then it was like what was like 100 records
To a crate.
per
Yeah,
milk
Yeah,
crate.
70 to 100.
Wow. Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, I could probably say that I have probably the whole 70s 80s collection.
Wow.
Definitely. So,
You ever think about selling your records?
and I still record. So, I still record. So that's kind of like where everybody's like, oh, where is he getting all this stuff from? Yo, a lot of these records are on record. They're on records, so I still record. I still have fun with that. And just finding the pieces that, that haven't been out, and stuff like that. And I try to, use that to my
Well, no,
advantage.
I mean, I think that's one of the great things about you as a DJ
Yeah.
is the song selection that you play in your
I have
sets.
fun.
It's like
doing
people
what I
like,
do.
yo, what is that? It's like really it's nice to sort of hear somebody go in a totally different direction and just play something that's chill.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, the musical knowledge was definitely there early, but then progressing, now it's like, okay, now I'm looking and I'm watching other DJs and come up, and I'm like, oh wow, I was spoiled. So my first set was a pair of 1200s, a Bozak mixer. I had a
And that comes from the house music guys,
yeah.
right?
So
What was that?
That Bozak
that
mix-
was the first setup that I've ever had. So like I was pretty blessed to have like the right stuff.
Even
Yeah.
just 12s to start with.
Yeah, and I had 12,
Yeah.
so I started with that. So it was like
So starting out, when did you gravitate towards like a crossfader?
I got a funny story with that. This is now from leaving Brooklyn to the Bronx. So back in the days, RoboCop, you remember?
Yeah.
RoboCop down with it. Daryl, I believe is his real big Daryl, I think his name was. Back in the days, I used to live in that area, and I used to see him, and I used to be like, yo, I want to learn how to DJ hip hop. And he was looking at me like, you don't know what hip hop is? And I was like, I was like the little preppy kid, And I would go to his house, and I was really young, so it was like they had the 19-inch coffin. So it was
Yes.
like literally I had to stand here. I was like this little scrawny kid, and I used to have to try to. He's like, yo, you got to make sure the on Apache doesn't come in. So it was like I start the record, then I had to walk over here. Like it was like literally like 2 big steps to walk over. And he was like, yo, man, what are you doing? And he showed me and over and over and over. And then he went in the room, and he would leave me out there for hours. But I'm like, well, damn, what is he doing in the room?
Yeah.
And I swear the first DMC tape I saw was it was the 1990 finals, DMC 1990 finals, and it was
Who won that year? Cash Money?
it was I'm not Baby G. It was Baby G. So that particular tape consists of Baby G. I think they had his name wrong. Diamond, DJ Diamond on is Diamond J from Long Island? Like I remember the tape. I watched it until it popped, and I had to go and get another tape. Him, Steve D, Flamboyant, Miz, and it was one of my very favorites from out of Philly. And then I saw it, and I was like, I saw how fast they were going, and I was like, what the fuck? What is that? like what is that? And I took the mixer.
What mixer was it? Was it a Gemini?
My Bozak mixer. I took it to Rock and Soul, and I traded it. And they were like, they had the poker face.
Oh my God.
So I was young. I didn't know this fucking mix is like 2,000, and it's like worth $7,000.
Yeah, I
now.
feel original one. Yeah.
Yeah. So shouts out to Shirley, and
They were like, come here, kid.
they was like, I was like, yo, I want to get this mixer right here because I saw the small mixers, but I knew they had Geminis, but I guess this one was a little more upgraded because they had like the little flash formers on it, and I was like, yo, I want to get that mixer right there. It's small. I need that. And she was like, well, does this thing work? And I was like, yeah, I just used it yesterday. It works. The knobs, everything was clean. Da, 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 da. You know, you turn it, everything was working. She was like, all right, here, take it. And I was like, for free? Like, just give you this and that? And she was like, yeah.
They were laughing.
They
that
were
day.
laughing. I'm quite sure they was like, who is this
But,
idiot?
but then you became cool with them, right?
Yeah, and
Later-
from
later on.
that day on, it was like, you know, every few weeks I would come there. You know, I was young then, trying to buy records every week, and you know, I developed a strong relationship with them over the years, and you know, yeah, I got a lot of weird, funny.
No, that's a
funny
great
stories,
story.
It is,
man.
yeah.
So what type of mixer was it that you got?
It
for
was
them?
a Gemini.
They had
It
the
was
wood
the
on the wood
Scratch
panels?
Master. No, it was the right, like the series, like right after that. So they
That
had the
small-
hard black
Yeah.
heavy casing.
I think that mixer was $75.
Yo, exactly.
That was a big
And-
mixer for everybody.
Yo, man, just that.
I had that. I had that little small mixer.
And from there, man, that's when I started finding out about mixers are bleeding. Oh man!
So you must have
It
beat that
was-
crossfader
yo,
to death.
That
oh,
crossfader,
oh my
I mean,
God. Like
on a really good make, probably lasted a month.
if that,
Yeah.
and then it would wear off and it'd be all.
And you get like the can of
Silver.
air. You'd be
Yeah, I had
spraying the
the-
can of
I
air.
had Lextite, WD-40, the 3 and what was it the 3 and 3?
Yes, yes,
all
yes,
that
yes.
stuff. So, and that was it. And then once I think when I saw that tape, I think that's probably what like changed everything. So it was like, oh man, like I wanted to be able to do both. So that was really my key. So I knew how to mix. So mixing and you know putting the records together, that was definitely that whole era. You know, again, my uncle Tony, Kerry Chandler, like it was a lot of people that I came across. Original Charisma Funk, Tom Motion, Tom Moulton, I call him Motion, but Moulton,
Wow, Tom Moulton used to.
yeah, like I knew all, and I would like walk around with my uncle, and I was just walking around, just hanging out, just sponging, you know, all the information.
And to you, that was like it was a normal
they
thing.
were just, it was normal. I just thought they were just my uncle's friends, and which they were, but you know, and to know, I'm like, oh, that's what that was. Like, oh man, like you should have told me then, you know. But
That's surreal.
Are you
Yeah.
still cool with like Tony and everybody?
I haven't. I hit him a couple of months ago,
he
and
remembers you as like. the
and he
little
was
guy.
like, "Oh, your uncle." I was like, "Yes, he knew." Yes. So you know, that was a cool thing, man. That was a
Yeah.
cool thing. You know, like I said, took it from there, went to Harlem, and like I stayed in the house for like, oh my God, for like 5 years.
Really, just practicing.
Straight.
practicing.
Like no breaks, no hanging out, no girls, no liquor, no nothing. Just I stayed in the house
So
for years.
from what age to what age was that?
Now here's the other part of that. My very first record that I bought, hip hop record, was Flavor in Your Ear, Craig Mack. That was the
Really?
first
That was
rap
1990.
record. That's 92, 93.
Yeah, yeah.
So then I was like, oh man, I gotta go back and get all of these records. So I was like on a hunt for everything, and eventually I got it all, and once I got it, it was like, okay, I'm ready. I want to go out the door. And my uncle, he had a party, and they left me at the party in Brooklyn, and my first initial party was with Father MC.
Really?
Yeah, that was my first party ever. It was a big house party in Brooklyn. This guy, I think it was Mimi, or I forgot the guy's name, but it was a big house party, and they were like, "You play." I'll never forget because Father MC had the Lakers jacket, the
Yeah.
purple and yellow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So And that from that point, I just caught the bug, and then that was it. That was it.
So who was some of the hip hop DJs that were popping at that time?
Oh man,
Was that Kid Capri
it
on?
was definitely Kid Capri. It was SNS, Ron G, Doo Wop, Showtime. Hollywood was still cracking. Lovebug, Starsky, Star Child, and like I said, and that it was funny because those were like the divisions. Then there was another division. There was like Ace, Chris Love, E. Kim, another person, DJ Knuckles, and so they were like there were divisions. So it was like, and then there was the battle side of it. Then it was like, obviously, rest in peace to Raider, Steve D. And I really just try to keep that classic moment because that's what I just like best. And and then it was the house world. So I had to figure out how to take all of those elements
Package it.
to create who I am.
Yep.
And here I am.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here I am.
So when did you really start gigging?
My official promoters gig was 99. Was that actually Denny Moore on them? Yeah, it was 99. And I did Bianca's on the Park. It was in Harlem, 110th Street. And
That was a residency?
yeah, and it actually became a residency. Yes.
Yeah.
After that first night, it became a residency, and we would go in there like every few weeks and just promote it
Jamming.
and just
Yeah.
go in there and just have parties and parties and parties. And then I came more on the promoter side, so I partied for I DJ for a lot of promoters.
Yep.
So they all had, they got the piece of the club, and they would
Broke
call
off
me
the
to come
DJ.
out. I come and then it just kept going and going and going and going and going and going. So
You ever signed to an agency or any management?
never, man, never.
Did you ever want to? Or
Yeah, I wanted to be a pit bull when I was.
a big dog pit?
I wanted to be a pit bull a big dog pit bull back in the day. When I seen the movement, rest in peace, Big Cap, and that whole situation with Flex and all of that. And then I don't know. I'm telling you, my wave was really different from the average.
I think it still is. I think you stand out at what you play.
Yeah, it was different because, like I said, I just wanted. A lot of people play parties to play them. You know what I mean, or to get money from it. I mean, of course, we want to get paid from them, but my thing was always the effect of what I did. So it was always we went to the what was that thing in AC?
The
The
DJ
DJ
Expo.
Right. And my first record was Frank Sinatra, and everybody was like, what the fuck? And everybody turned around and was like, oh, shit. And anything to grab the attention of the people and make them understand, look, I'm right here. You're going to listen to
Yes.
what this is, and yeah, that was my
That's
niche.
genius.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's always great to show the diversity of your music selection.
Yeah. Brothers play Frank Sinatra too, yeah. Know that.
Well, because I mean, everybody's always playing the same records,
Yeah.
and there's so
That's-
much music
yeah,
that you
that-
can actually play.
Yeah, I don't understand that. That's a good conversation that I think a lot of DJs need to have. The computer, the Serato, the computer track, whatever we use, our libraries are extensive now
Yeah.
because you can get whatever you want, and it's why have 1,000,000 records and only play 50 of them? And I just never understood that.
So when you were DJing with vinyl, how many crates would you bring out?
Minimum 8 to 10. If it was a big party, I would have 10 crates at least.
Yeah.
At least.
I could never understand when DJs would just 20 crates. I remember Kid Capri.
Yeah,
roll
Kid
with
used to
20
have
crates.
17 just
But now,
lined up.
but
all
now
across.
having Serato and seeing how much music you could have, now I understand.
Right. So and that's the thing, and I think that's the gift and the curse.
Yes.
Yeah. Of course.
So the gift is definitely, you can go in there with a maximum amount of records and go in there and just and just come in there with a hammer and just bam, look. Then there's I just have a lot of records, but I'm like, well, why I don't play them, you know? But to each his own. You know,
I mean,
to each
do you?
his own.
I think it has a lot to do with preparation, right? I mean, do you? I mean, obviously, the more you're gigging, the more you're fresh with music. Do you do a lot of preparation, or
Not really? What I do is I try to walk in a situation and say, okay, so there's a set of 30-year-olds over in the corner. There's a couple 20-year-olds over there. There's maybe some 18-year-olds over there, and some 60-year-olds over there. And my approach is just to go in there and say, okay, I have to figure out how to get everybody together, as opposed to just playing a set. Because then when you play a set and you get caught in the set and no one's feeling your set,
yes,
now you're like, oh shit, what am I gonna do next? And that's why I said that's what the the purpose of the library. Like, that's the purpose. So when you can go in there and just pull up something that's hot and go, that to me is key.
yeah.
That's
So
key.
so is it a lot of? Are you like spinning off the top of your head, like, oh, I feel this record right now, I'm going to do it, or
Yeah, most times. I'm getting into a situation where I'm actually playing my own remixes more so than the actual records. So that definitely, I guess, causes some separation from it.
Of
you
course,
know, so
yeah.
at least to get a different approach or a different feel, for the same type of record.
Yeah.
So.
So you were doing some teaching for a while. You still teaching?
Yeah. I still teach at Rock and Soul. Got quite a few people. I've been quiet about that, but shouts out to y'all. But
So do you enjoy teaching?
I love teaching. I think the youth got it. I think if they're prepared properly, they got it. They definitely have it. And oh, hey K&A, how y'all doing? Like, my people's right there.
So are
That's
you
the
are you
youth.
teaching? Are you teaching on vinyl?
Some acts for vinyl, some acts for CDJs, and some. So it's a toss. So it's like they'll learn on the CDJs, and then they'll come back and say, "Hey, I want to use vinyl." So I think once you get the feel for it, it's either you're gonna go left or right. Just depending on your feel.
Do you teach them like musical arrangements and all that
Absolutely.
stuff?
That's key. Like mixing and just I always say DJs tell a story. Someone said that to me before, and I now give out the same information. Like, yo, when you're at a party, you're telling a story, and it's all about the mood, and just you want to take people's minds away from everything from the week or whatever, midweek or whatever, and just give them something to think about, so they don't have to think about life when they're listening to music.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's key for me.
That's awesome. So you were also on tour with Jay-Z.
Yeah, I did what I was doing, and shouts out to you're near Gaines now is his name, because he was the MC that was with me. I used to do all of the after parties.
Okay.
So that's what I was saying. Like, I was just the party guy. So like, they put the situation together. It was the Blueprint 3 tour,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
It was the Blueprint 3 tour, and we did. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how many states.
How many cities?
Yeah, it was crazy. And they had it situated where I did all of the after parties.
Oh, wow.
All of them.
Oh my God.
So it was like,
From the
man,
arena to
I
the
seen when, yeah. So I seen, the Beans and the J. Coles, and like I seen all the come ups, on when everybody was around. And
You must have pivoted so many gigs from that as well.
oh my God, like it was, oh man.
Just the tour alone had
The
to be
tour
about
alone
70,
was like-
70 dates in a year, right?
Yeah, it was
But
crazy.
just like playing at those gigs and rocking those gigs, and then like
and they were
Joey,
doing like
yeah.
shows like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, take one day off, go to Canada.
Did you go overseas also? Was it?
Yeah, I went overseas a few times with them as well. It was dope, man. I had like
So you must have seen some crazy shit too.
I can't tell. Cannot tell, but it was
Damn.
oof, yeah, it was
Would you do another one of those tours?
Well, you're
Yeah,
on a
I would
tour. Aren't you
absolutely
on a
do it.
tour right now?
I tour with Houdini. I'm about to Quiet is Kept. Actually I'm not gonna say it because I need to make sure it's official, but I have 2 other artists that I might be going out with. But Houdini, yeah, those are my guys. Shouts out to Wiz, Doc Ice, we miss you. Jalil Ecstasy, yeah, it's dope. It's dope. I don't know. I love the '80s, man. And I do. I just like the classic. I don't know. Just the classic time is just
Yeah.
it's timeless and it's just dope. Like nothing against none of the new stuff. The '90s is dope too.
Yeah, I
Obviously,
like
the
the
'90s
hip-hop.
was just the
Nah,
Yeah.
Biggie.
Early
Yeah.
2000s were good too,
Yeah.
though. Early 2000s.
the
were
early,
good.
yeah. About 2003, 4 started like, hey, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like I love it all. Now it's a thing of like I said, you gotta prepare for everybody and everything. So you can't just be like, hey, I'm just gonna go into this kid's young party and play '80s music. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Well, I mean, it takes them a little while before they
Yeah.
start warming up to that music, right?
pretty much,
So
pretty much.
what's the most ideal event that you would like to play for, or that you play for? Like age group, genre of music.
You know the what was that place? There's 2 places that I've looked at, and I've seen a lot of guys come through there. Like what is that? The Do Over is one.
Oh, the
I like the Do Over like that. I've like Jazzy Jeff. I seen Maceo. I seen Questlove, and what I liked about those situations was the music range is
Yes.
like this big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like when you get in situations to play like that, like it's forget it. The other one, what's that? Dijon?
Where's that?
That's overseas. What's
Oh,
that?
it's in France. Isn't it in France?
I believe.
I think so.
I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
I think so. I know it's overseas. Those are the 2 places that I
I know that. I think the Martinez brothers used to play there a lot.
think so.
Yeah.
Yes. So those probably be my 2 because I like the way that the flow is and the openness of the music.
Yeah. Well,
I like just it has to be open. I like it open. It's good like that.
there's a place in Ibiza. I think it's called Mambo.
Mambo as well. Yes.
And
yes,
Mambo was like
absolutely.
notorious where like they're rocking like Crystal Waters and
Yeah.
like CC Peniston and like the whole crowd is
good-
like singing
The
along.
goods. The goods.
You know?
Yeah. The
Yeah,
goods.
it's awesome.
Yeah. It was, I mean, yeah, that time, even that time, man, that was like the early 90s.
Yeah, how good was that time, man?
It was, for me, it was great. I actually, and it's funny, like even that, I was an intern for Masters at Work in CNC Music Factory when I was a kid. I was like 15.
That was another great opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
My godfather did that. Uncle Bob, he connected me to Louis and Kenny and Todd when I was really young, really young, and those are my guys, those are my
Yeah.
friends, So it's
And they were running shit in that
oh
time.
my,
that was their
That was their
I
time.
mean,
get
yeah,
it,
no,
man.
they're
Like it
still
was,
They're
they're
still
still
gigging,
doing
yeah.
it too. Yeah, shouts out to Kenny and Louis, man.
What about
For real.
radio? Did you ever play radio?
I do. I play on what is that station? 103.9, 103.9 in New York City. Power 88 in Vegas. I'm thinking about, that place where we were talking about. I'm thinking about that place too, but I don't know yet. It's a lot going on, man. It's a lot going on.
Well, back in the day, I remember you started your own website. It
Oh
was like
yeah,
a
yeah. I
Ustream.
was doing the
It was
Ustream.
This type
Yeah,
of thing.
it was. Like I thought about going back to it. The Cut Cafe is what you're talking
Yes,
about.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
the Cut Cafe was. Wow, that was man.
Way ahead of the game, man.
Yeah, that was
That
whoa.
was 2010.
Something like that.
2011,
Yeah.
2010.
And I did it for a couple of years, and it was really great. I had a lot of DJs. It was like we kind of had it like a program, so it was really like Monday through Friday we had DJs all day, and it was like the new radio.
Yeah.
And my whole purpose, like I said, it was to play the things that no one is playing anymore. So that was really the focus, And I see now it's like, wow, everybody, is doing it. There were a
it's
few though that was doing it before me actually. What was that? Evil D. They had God, what is the name of the thing? And Dummy also. These shout outs to DJ Dummy as well. He had the Breakfast Club. That was the first Breakfast Club too. Was DJ Dummy, not the Breakfast Club on
On
Let
on
them know,
that.
Mel. Let them know.
Yeah. Beat Minus Radio. That's what it was called. Beat Minus Radio. Oh, and Maceo. Maceo also had. So those three, I looked at their situation and was like, okay. But they only came on, for a couple of hours during the day. So I was like, why not try to get it and have the entire week, and
That's
just-
a lot of work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
a lot of
crazy
work.
scheduling.
It's a lot of work, even doing it. We do 1 day a week, 3 shows in a day, and we do like a special show once a month.
Oh yeah.
That's like a lot of,
Yeah, it's a lot.
It was
I mean, if you have the right group
great
of DJs,
headaches. It was great headaches. It was great, but at a lot of DJs.
Yeah, but you have to have the right DJs that want to put in the
Yeah,
work.
Yeah.
yeah. It was a vision. We all, like I said at the time, we all, we had the vision. And it was cool is like, a lot of the DJs that are on there had sprung out to do like other things
Yep.
and a lot of great things. So
Well, it was probably very inspiring also because when you're around great DJs all the time,
yeah.
you see new things. It gives you ideas.
Yeah. Keeps
know,
the mind going.
Yeah, it keeps the mind
Keeps the
going.
mind
Yeah,
going.
yeah, it's awesome.
Definitely.
Well, we're really excited to hear this set, man. We could sit here and talk for hours.
Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to figure out what I'm gonna do.
So before we get you on, I guess we just want to talk real quick. Tonight on the show, you're going to play with.
Oh, shouts! Damn it, Denon! Shouts out to Denon DJ
Then on DJ.
because that's what I'm gonna use.
Yeah,
tonight.
yeah. So you're playing
So
on the
I got
5000s.
5000 M's.
They look brand
Yes.
spanking
They
new.
are. They are
Yeah,
crispy.
that good old mixer.
They have
Yeah.
the new smell on them.
The smell, yeah,
Right? The smell
out
is
the
still
fresh
like-
out,
So
yeah.
you take them everywhere with you now.
I'm in the process of doing that. I'm in the process of doing that now. I really like them. I like them a lot, and not that I don't know. Like I've maybe I might have maximized myself. At least for my ability on the 1200s. So it's just now I wanted to try other things, and I don't know if I'm pulling myself back into that house mode again, stronger, and then what I would before. I mean I don't know.
You always,
They just look like you want to play house on.
they just look
Yeah.
great.
They do. They
You
do a
know?
great job with it.
Those is the business right there, man.
The colors, everything.
Yeah, I'm happy.
I'm happy to
Definitely
hear.
happy.
That's good. We do a show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
have to
Mel,
pull up some house music now.
Yeah.
Why not?
let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're going to take a 2-minute break and get Mel up on the set.
Yeah.
Peace.
Go to thefunctionhouse.com/live if Facebook starts to hate.
All right.